Sorry. Cool, cool. So that was Swadge Bros, and I don't know how to get out of this, so we're going to reset.
You could have pressed start or select. Sorry. Hi, I wrote that.
Oh, cool. Do you want to come up on stage?
Yeah.
All right. We need one more chair. You can sit right here on the left. And here, you hold the Laffy Taffy.
Okay.
Oh, God.
By the way, you can donate right now. And you can see the donations, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, we might not have enough slack for this. Maybe? Maybe? Cool.
This is unexpected.
Yeah. And then bring it a little closer to your face.
There you go.
Perfect. Okay, audio guy, we got a new runner. 3.
I can try to do some commentary.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so what are the controls?
So WASD are the D-pad, and then
Cool.
I believe it's K and L are A and B, and I and O are start and select. So from here, if we hold start and select, it'll bring it back to the main
Yeah,
menu.
and I think one thing I learned was that you said I/O is that you can do one and then the other, and it doesn't do it. You got to do it at the same time.
Yep.
Cool, which is clever.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to do like a Swadge overview or anything?
A Swatch what?
A Swadge overview?
Sure. I guess I dropped in here and you're already playing. What had been done before I walked by?
Cool. We figured out how to play a game, and we
That's
played
good.
Swadge Bros.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of games on here, so we just saw Swadge Bros. We can kind of go through the list. I think Swadge Island is also pretty impressive, and there's definitely some speedrunning opportunity here. It's a platformer, which may look similar to some other platformers you've seen, and there are some achievements there, which I have never actually managed to do.
Oh, this shows
Oh.
like the completed achievements?
Yeah. Oh, I guess we don't list out what they are, but there's like some high score and some. I think you have to beat the game in under
Gotcha.
25
Do you
minutes.
play platformers?
Yeah, I
Type
love
deal.
platforms.
Well, here, okay, you can do this one. So
Oh,
it's
nice.
WASD and then A and B for KL. That'll
Yep.
do the main thing. So then just like start it up. No, L is A. Sorry, I said BA. It's kind of like modeled after
There we
a NES controller, maybe?
Yeah, it's basically a
Or
NES
the
controller.
the Square Wavebird.
Yes. And you can actually use it as a NES controller for any sort of emulator.
Oh,
if
the
you plug
one-up!
If you plug it into a PC, you do. It does enumerate as a USB gamepad.
Nice. I tried to do it with this, but we couldn't get it to work.
Ah.
Maybe afterwards.
Yeah, there's so it comes up as a gamepad, but the emulator uses keyboard input, so you'd need another program to translate one to the other.
Oh, do you have to run Joy to Key?
Yes.
Okay, we saw like a config for it, so we thought, oh, it's just like baked in, but so you need to turn that on.
Yeah, because we made the emulator, but we weren't clever enough to actually have gamepad input into it. Maybe next year.
Yeah, no, well, this as is incredibly impressive. And these levels, there's like a level editor, right?
Yeah. I believe the program's called A-Sprite or AE-Sprite.
Oh yeah, Dak was like, and you can make these in Paint.
Yes, it's really. I think it's actually a little simpler than like Super Mario Maker for people who are familiar with that.
Yeah.
We had one guy, Jonathan Vega, wrote the engine for this, and then
reach over you. You keep doing
the
what
community
you're doing.
kind of came together and made some levels. Also, if you hold down the run key, you can run.
You just double their or half their clear time.
Yeah, little pro strats here and there.
I think we're going to PB on this one.
You know so much about this.
Yeah,
Can you, when you make the levels, like, can you share them, or how do you share them and download them?
That's actually a great question that I'm not super able to answer because I QA'd this game a bunch, but I didn't actually make any levels for it. I was busy writing Swadge Bros, which took a fair amount of my time.
Oh yeah, that's an impressive one.
But at least from a tooling standpoint, I know A-Sprite can output a binary file that I think you pass through a Lua script, which gets baked into the firmware and can also be read by the emulator as just, I think, the .bin file.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So this is level 1, 2, and you beat the
This
first
is one,
level.
two. And I believe there are 16 levels in total.
Wow. I love all the M coins.
Yep.
What are these named? Like, what are these enemies?
It's actually funny you should ask. We were talking about that on our Slack before magFAST, like 2 days ago. I think Plantagonist was the name we were throwing around. Yeah,
Oh.
you want to get that flag under there just so if you
Ooh, the
If
checkpoint.
you die, it'll,
Checkpoint.
yeah, checkpoint flag.
All right.
So it also give you like a mushroom
Nope.
effect? No,
I think there's
not
one
like
hiding around here somewhere. No, maybe not.
Was it intentional that you can open those blocks up from any direction, not just
Yes.
jumping under them?
Yeah. I don't
Or was
know.
that just simpler? Maybe both.
No, it was intentional. I don't know why Jonathan did it that way.
You lost it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the game can be pretty cruel with how the power-ups kind of come out of there and fall immediately into pits. It helps to kind of know the level ahead of time for that
Cool.
sort of thing.
You got one life left, and then we get to see a new game.
Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable.
And how many games are there on this?
There are 5 games, and then a couple of tools and utilities and a synthesizer and some other bits and bobs.
6 games?
Sorry, 6 games. I can't count.
Yo, me neither.
Counting is hard.
So we got Swatch Lands. Up next, we'll have Donut Jump. And I tried that one, and that one's interesting. Donut Jump has a fantastic little animation that I think is like on the Discord server profile, right?
Yep.
And then eventually we might get to Picross, which is my favorite.
Picross has been. I didn't write that. Someone named Hunter did, and it's actually been the game that I've played the most.
Shout outs to Hunter.
Yep. He did some excellent work. And we did have a Swadge panel on Friday, which eventually will get uploaded to magFAST's YouTube page if you want to hear more about Picross and all that fun stuff.
Just like this video. Hello, future.
Hello, VOD.
Hi, YouTube. Oh, you beat it. We're on 1-3. Oh, and you get an extra one up. We're never going to get out of here. Do you want to get to the next game?
Sure.
All right. From any point, you can always hit start and select, and it'll bring you back to the main menu.
IO at the same time.
I would this in. Lovely.
Cool, cool.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, you got 3 levels in.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay,
12 to go.
I'll do Donut Jump, and then I'll let you do Picross. Jump. Okay.
Yep, just jump.
LED's on.
So if you ever played a game like Qbert, it's very similar.
I haven't played it. Fairly. I think I understand the concept.
Yep.
Outside the window, I'm in one of the back rooms and high enough up to look out the rocks, little pebbles they got. When I looked at it, I was like, "Oh, that's Qbert's level."
Yep. Geometry's everywhere.
No.
No.
I got killed by Evil Donut.
And you can't get a bigger combo by not stepping on any blocks you've already stepped on. So you have to try to find the snaky path around.
Yeah, that's hard
Ideal
though.
path.
Oh
Yes.
no, angry blocks.
Yes.
No.
Avoid the angry blocks.
Oh, well, let's not
Avoid
do
that too.
Oh, that froze them, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, the first time that happened, I was like, "Heh, game broke."
Nope, that's intentional. There are no game-breaking bugs in here that I'm aware of.
Oh, that's a bold statement.
I said that I'm aware of. That I'm aware of. Prove me wrong.
I mean, this is a speedrunning marathon.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool. And is there like, do the levels just like get progressively harder? or more
Yeah.
complicated?
It's pretty,
And we're on
I
level
think there's
3.
another kind of block eventually in there somewhere. Are you trying to get back to the menu?
No, I was just like seeing which buttons like pause it and unpause it.
Ah.
Because it's like I tap the pause button and it actually doesn't unpause,
Interesting.
but I hold it. What was that about bugs?
No, that's a feature. That's a feature. You have to be very intentional about your pausing.
You know, I accept that. Okay. Oh, only
Yeah.
on emulator. Yeah, I'll accept that. Cool. So the next game, all right, Picross.
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 This is a puzzle game. You may have heard it as Picross or I think Nonograms. Oh,
Picture
someone's
cross.
already been here.
Yeah, I don't know how this happened.
Okay, we're gonna.
I think that was like trying to figure out the controls, making sure the emulator was working.
How do we clear all this nonsense out?
Nonsense. There are no mistakes here, only happy accidents.
I didn't say there weren't mistakes. I just said it was nonsense.
Fine.
All right. So do either of you know how Picross works?
I'm
Yes.
unfamiliar.
I love Picross.
Okay. So do you want to just do this one, or explain to everyone?
Well, I'll explain because it's like you said you played this most. I'll let you
Sure.
play it. So all of the numbers on the rows say how many of those squares are filled in and then all of the numbers in the column say how many of those are filled in. And if there's a gap between the numbers, then in this row, there's going to be one filled in square and a space on either side, and then somewhere else there's got to be another one. So we don't know on that second row like which it is, but because we've got the top square, we know like these 4 have to be filled in because the numbers have to be connected all in a line, and then with an empty space on either side, and you just math it out, and eventually you make the symbol pi.
And it's
Question.
It's the B button.
Yeah, so there's a mark button. So I guess there's like a fill button and a mark button. So you can mark stuff to kind of help you like space it out before you commit to it.
And they do get progressively harder. So I'm not going to do this one on stream, but you kind of have to squint on the actual Swadge screen. But there's some pretty neat art if you do manage to.
We'll see what.
Well, I've done a couple of the 15 by 15s. But yeah,
I like the tune.
Yeah, it's a bop of a tune. If you like any of the tunes, there's also the music mode. We have a jukebox. You can just pick your favorite mode and just listen to the music as is. Or you just want the little jingle when you win.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty tiny.
Yeah, it's doable, but it's hard.
Wow.
Enhance.
And then the last 2 games are returning games, which got a little bit of polish from prior years. Flying Donut is a flight simulator, so this kind of looks like the interior of the Gaylord, if you're familiar with that.
I see what's going on here.
Yep, and you try to go through the donuts and collect the beans. And there's also a firmware update to integrate this with VR Zone if you're near the portal at magFAST, which is going to be hard to do if you're not in magFAST, but I will give a brief plug to I think we're calling it the Maglord still. If you're on VR chat and you want the magFAST experience, you can join that world. Anyway, a lot of flying around here. I'm usually better at this. Apparently trying to talk and fly at the same time, not super.
Superman 64.
Yeah, so that's that one.
I didn't
And
wanna
then
say
the last returning game is Tterraj's Color, which is less exciting to play on the emulator because on actual hardware there's an accelerometer that you play by tilting it left and right to drop your blocks.
Does that like you push buttons to rotate and you tilt the left and right, or?
Yeah. The 2 A and B buttons will rotate clockwise and counterclockwise, and tilting it moves the piece laterally.
Tiltrads.
Yeah.
Rad.
But at least emulator-wise, it's just pretty much basically Tetris. Which is, fun. Everyone likes Tetris.
Tetris is a great game.
Tetris is great.
It's a very interesting history. You can check it out on YouTube.
Yep. All right, so those are the games rundown.
Go to the tools. I just saw the dice roller is so cool.
Yeah, you roll dice. 1d20. Cool, you got it. How about 2 of them? Sure.
19.
What if you want d12s instead? And the faces of the die do change with the number that you're picking. So little art touch there.
Oh, I think I hear Taskbot.
That's them back there. Though I think my favorite tool of all is MF Paint.
Oh, yeah.
Which is paint.
Draw a dinosaur.
Draw a dinosaur? I don't know. It's maybe got some legs here.
Dinosaurs do have legs, or so I'm told.
What's the? Oh no, that was the save button. We don't want to do that. We can change the
Saves
tool.
the masterpiece.
We can make
it's like pointing at
make a body for the dinosaur, but like maybe we'll give it some polka dots. Because why not? Probably want to give it a head of some sort. The controls are a little wacky on emulator just because it uses some of the touch-sensitive areas that are around the buttons, but we have them mapped to number keys, so it's a little bit of contortion.
The touch-sensitive areas?
Yeah, so this area between the Y and the X button is actually a touch-sensitive strip.
Oh, yeah?
Like over here.
Oh, Y and X.
Which we weren't sure if that was going to totally work, and then it did, so we didn't really do too much with it this year, but next year we'll do more stuff.
Oh, we made it faster.
fill that area in.
Oh yeah, because it's like that's cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's like on the Swadge, there's text painted to tell you what stuff is, but I didn't read any of it. It matters.
Here, this is the world's worst dinosaur. Roar. But there's a whole bunch of other tools. It's magFAST, so of course you can plot a square wave,
Ooh.
or you can do
A dedicated square wave function. I like it.
yep, change the color, do a background fill, all sorts of options.
Nice.
Sky's the limit. I'm not an artist.
I mean, you've already basically sold me with MS Paint on the go, so I can't complain.
There you go.
Yeah.
What other tools we got? We did dice, we did paint. Light dances is also one of those way more impressive in person. If you're
Yeah.
going to a concert, this is usually what you leave the Swadge in. And if you just turn the thing on and leave it on the main menu, it will idle and default to this. It turns off the screen, does some power saving, but you get all sorts of LED animations. And you can change the brightness so you can see it. And we mentioned the touch sensitive area, that'll change the speed of things, so you can make it, well, that's real slow. Everyone likes it faster.
And for this, it's also reacting to the sound.
So that's actually a different one. That's
a
under
different one.
the music mode. That's called color chord.
Color chord.
And I don't know actually what PC this is on. It does, if set up correctly, the emulator does work with a PC microphone to take in that sound. If it was linked up here, you'd see that middle color bar. It's actually a histogram. It'll
Right.
show the frequencies of things that are going on. And the way color chord works, it's interesting. It's not like a straight frequency transform. It folds in all of the different notes into each other. So like a C4, a C5, and a C6 will all contribute to the C bin.
Right.
And all C's are like red or whatever, and all D's are blue. So you can get some like really cool music visualizations, and it's tuned specifically to music, not just like here's a frequency, here's a color. We'll tie those together.
That was one of my favorite parts of like previous Swadges.
Yeah, and that's been on every Swatch for the past 4 years. It's the one feature that keeps on coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, a Swatch.
Ah,
Yeah.
the 3D printed case.
Oh, all right. Real
Does
deal
that-
hardware. I don't know if you want to show that on the camera or what have you.
We sure do. Hello, hello.
So this has a special case on it, and it really is just a controller in your hand.
Yeah, the cases were something we did kind of late in the game here. We'd never done any sort of 3D printing add-ons, but there were some people on our team who were interested in it, and I basically said, yeah, go for it. Knock yourselves out, see what happens. So they catted up the whole thing. They printed, they tested,
Yeah.
and I think they made something like 200 of them, which sold out immediately, which was kind of unfortunate. But next year, now that we know it's so dang popular,
Yeah.
we'll start earlier, we'll make more, and hopefully
Because
more people will be able to enjoy it.
Yeah, the Swadge essentially is like a motherboard you have. So adding this onto it makes it feel more of like you're literally holding like a controller. It's a shell
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mothership.
The mothership.
Part of the Swadge aesthetic is that bare PCB, so there will always be some sort of visible electronics on it. I think the day that it becomes totally encased in plastic is the day it just becomes a Game Boy, and it loses a little bit of its charm,
Right.
I think.
Right.
Oh, also, TaskBot's going to just set up while we entertain you for a while. Speaking of entertaining, have we had any donations?
We have not currently had any donations, but if anyone does want to donate, ! Donate in the chat. You can also scan the QR code. We are raising money for charity. We do have an ongoing stretch goal for the Metal Gear Solid 3 speedrun that's coming later. And
Yeah.
we had also said if you mention Laffy in your comment,
Laffy Taffy.
we will try to make you laugh with some, I'm sure, very popular jokes.
No, we'll just read what's on the label, and you'll regret it. But the children will thank you for your money.
Absolutely.
I think we're getting kind of towards the end of the demoable stuff here.
Then we
Tunerdome
go
is
back to Picross.
Yeah, I mean, I can leave you playing Picross all you want. Tunerdome here, again, uses the microphone, so it's not going to be doing too much on this emulator, but it lets you tune your instruments. The
Oh,
LEDs
wow.
would be either blue or red, depending on what you're playing is flat or sharp. And there's also a little metronome built in, which actually no one likes it slow. Everyone likes things when they're fast.
This is
more beats.
magFAST.
This is magFAST.
magFAST,
How high does this go? That's a good question. 400 BPM
Wow.
is the answer.
Yeah, I'm sure that's useful.
It's useful to someone. I mean, there were some 300 BPM songs on DDR back in the day. I don't know if they ever did a 400 BPM, though.
Oh, man.
That's that. Music. So this is another accelerometer-based thing. It's a little synthesizer that'll play different notes depending on how the Swatch is tilted. So you kind of drive your song almost. Oh, there's batteries in there if you want to. Actually, I have one around my neck, too. What am I doing?
I mean, I gave my Swatch away, so
Yeah.
temporarily.
Music. Oh, so of course I muted it. There's a mute in settings for when you're in panels and you don't want to bother everyone.
Yeah.
But I do want to bother everyone here.
This brochure is so nice.
It is as well.
Here you go. You can play with that. You gotta, oh, sorry, press the A button to actually play the sound. There you go.
That's awesome.
There's a bunch of different like scales and patterns built in. So if you use, I think it's the
Oh,
D-pad.
just like this does it too?
Yeah, that'll higher, lower frequency. There's a lot going on there. But here, if you can pick, that's BPM.
Louder, Daniel.
Sorry, what?
Speak sweet nothings into my ear. I can't hear you.
Daniel.
Test.
Start from the beginning. So yeah, what the quick overview of the Swatch again? What is this thing, and why do we care?
This motor, like the whole thing.
Just the Swatch, just like the
Oh, just the Swatch.
the elevator pitch.
The elevator pitch is it's a handheld music tool, video game console, paint pad, fun thing. magFAST has been making Swatches for I think 6 or 7 years now. It's one of the things that I think differentiates this from a lot of other cons. You'll see similar badge type things at like DEF CON or other hacker conventions, but we're not really like a hacker convention. We're music and gaming, but we happen to have these also because it turns out we're a bunch of nerds. They're super fun to play with. They can actually play with each other. At least this year, the fighting game can. So if you see someone else in the hallway and you want to just make a friend, you can fight them because that's how you make friends. If you want to make music in like the chiptune space, it's got a synthesizer in there. If you want to make art and just share that on Twitter or whatever, it is what you make of it, and it's all open source. All of our files are on GitHub for the hardware, for the 3D printing, for the firmware. So it's incredibly hackable. You can reprogram it yourself. Yeah, that's the elevator pitch.
Excellent. Anything left to show on the emulator?
Anything left to show? I mean, the settings are pretty fun, but
Oh, what about the credits? That's got to be good
credits.
too.
Play the credits a little faster. So yeah, these are everyone who worked on it.
Oh, wow.
I'm actually that top name, alphabetically first. Agnew did some music, I believe. Allison Brantley did art. Bedrock did music. Bryce did programming. Dak did QA work. Dan did music. I think Deknab did QA. Dilwich wrote the paint mode, which was wild. Ellie did the jukebox. Free Fawful was a musician. Greg Lord did sprite work. Grocery Man did the flight sim. Halo Flutter did music, the tuner gnome stuff. Hunter did Picross. We shouted out to him before. Jay Vega did the platformer. Joe Newman contributed music. Jonathan Moriarty did Tterraj42. Katie Lawson did sprites. Kevin also worked on the metronome and the tuner. Oh, hey, there's Kevin right behind me. Laura Lemon is my better half and dealt with me through this whole process. Max Campbell, I think, did QA work. Mr. Troy did Donut Jump. Private Island did QA. And Thaley made the manual, which is sitting over there. And I think that was everyone, or that's at least everyone who responded to my Google form to be in the credits. But yeah, heck of a team. Super proud of everything we've all accomplished.
Looks like a great.
I'm
great
impressed.
Swatch this year. Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Oh, and also because the 3D printing was so late, Emily Anthony and Justin Golke did our 3D printing, but they were not in this list, but I got to shout them out. Yep. All right. So, yeah, what else do you need me for?
Oh, I got one more question,
Sure.
and then you can hop back in the audience. Swatch Bros has local versus,
Yes.
but what are the controls?
Oh,
For
yeah,
local versus.
that's so local versus there's actually an arcade machine down in the tournament section in Expo Hall B, where there's an arcade machine set up with this locked in. The second player controls are FGHT for WASD and then M and N for select. So it's incredibly awkward to have two actual players play on the same keyboard. You need to really, really like each other.
Okay, because it's like sharing, right?
Yeah.
All right.
But
oh, we're both King Donut. Wait.
yeah.
Oh,
But
I'm the yellow one.
yeah, you're the yellow one. See, I built in the indicators for that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Excellent, excellent.
Anyway, but if you have like an arcade machine where you're mapping buttons to these inputs, it's way less intimate. Maybe is a good word for
No,
it.
this reminds me just like of the good old N64 days.
No screen peeking.
There's a
God.
game I saw
Oh.
called Screen Cheat, where the whole idea is everyone's invisible in the FPS, and you have to look at other corners of the screen before you can actually see anyone.
Oh,
shoot.
that's fun.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Oh, no. Wait, I died.
So the other thing to note, I guess just for the game, is that there's no ledge grabbing, but you do get a little bonus jump if you hit the wall and you have no jumps left. Because turned out it felt really bad to just fall to your death all the time.
It's just like, no.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah,
Cool.
that's all I got.
Yeah, thank you very much for that overview.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to mute this mic. Cool. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, and take your stuff back.
That was not mine. Someone brought that up.
Oh, yeah. JC, I think was yours. We'll hold it for now.
Catch you guys later.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you again, Adam.